Latest, I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
Need an accident attorney by your side? All you got to do is call the accident guys.
Injured in a car accident or at work? Call the accident guys. Because unlike other firms, an attorney will negotiate your case, not a paralegal.
When breaking news happens, keep it locked to KBLA Talk 1580.
So pleased to announce that the 43rd mayor of the city of Los Angeles is on the phone. Mayor Karen Bass, good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing, Dominique?
Good. You must be incredibly swamped right now, and I appreciate you checking in. It's indefinitely what we're hearing, that the 10 freeway to be down?
Yes, that is the case. All of those travel apps, pay attention to those. As we get information, they've been uploaded right away. So those maps should be accurate. But we actually are trying to tell people to stay on freeways, to follow the route, because our streets can't handle 300,000.
Yeah.
Our streets would be parking lots. There is metro, there is public transportation. So they're increasing the frequency of trains and increasing the frequency of buses. So you can go to 511 and learn about metro. You can go to emergency.lacity.gov to learn about any information on the city. This is a time for all of us to stay together. We're trying every avenue possible. That's why it's so important that you reached out, Dominique. Always want to make sure that the KBLA audience is up to speed.
Mayor Karen Bass, thank you so much. Godspeed.
All right, thank you.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Yeah, rock digging, flip mode, outsiders, shit tight, down to the coochie. Yeah, check it. And I say what's tight, cause the sister write rhymes all day and all night. Dwelling south of the Hudson, New Jerusalem, in seclusion, using fake pseudonyms. I'm true bad. Mine travels like a schizo on two tabs with do-rags hanging from my pockets. Need a rap bitch to go back to pediatrics. Early lessons, rappers like you was straight festive. So recognize, I make a nigga eyes come alive off of 525s. Disguise the camouflage. I shoot a virus out my spirals with mad priors for taking mad niggas titles.
You were locked in to hour 3 of RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. A little raw digger to bring us in. How many albums? Raw Digga, I feel like never really took off, never really connected. I wonder if it's because, like, when you hear her spit, she's another one that can go toe-to-toe with a lot of male rappers. I wonder what it is, though. Do you think it's that because of the crew she was with? Like, busting? I wonder why. I think maybe, I'm trying to think when she came out, late 90s, early 90s, because there's a couple of ones that they tried it with, you know, they may have had a single, it didn't go, you know, a mill. What happened? You know, that single with her and Beyonce was not the business. They shouldn't have done that. That's a side. Here's the thing. It's cool, but I didn't feel like it was the single for Emil to hit with at the time, right? Coming off of Can I Get Her, right? Where she slid. You ain't got to be rich, but bump that. How we gonna get around on you? Okay, she slid, right? She had the voice. She was cute. And then you come out with this and I got that. It didn't match. It didn't fit. It didn't give the vibe that we wanted. I don't know.
I think they were trying to I think it was a sex appeal thing, kind of, sort of, or maybe something softer. You know what I'm saying? Because when she first came out, she did come off very rough, right? So I think that's the reason why, you know, they came out with that record. I actually like that record. That record was fire to me.
It wasn't bad, but it just didn't move me. I didn't feel like, ooh, more Emil after that. I was just kind of like, yeah.
Plus, I think that, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Jay-Z did not help her write that song.
Don't think so.
But her verse on Can I Get Her, I think, was written by Jay, so that's what made it fire.
Again, but then here's my thing. If you know that, right, that should not have been the single. Shouldn't have been. The A&Rs were slipping.
Well, you know, you roll the dice sometimes with music, right?
You do.
Just like the Usher song that you was talking, Pop Your Collar. They rolled the dice and it didn't work right. So.
I feel like they rolled the dice because they really wanted to capitalize on Beyonce at that moment too, you know, and make that connection, but I didn't feel it. Tony Yayo mentions Charlie Baltimore. He said she never connected either as far as an audience. What was excuse me, what was Charlie's first single? I really liked that, but Charlie wasn't really a rapper.
People felt more connected with her when she was collaborating with Ja Rule.
Facts.
Because I know for a fact.
but don't you here's the thing. You think about Ja Rule, like Ja Rule had, and not all of these are rappers, but you know him and Vita.
Vita was hard too.
Lil Mo, right? We had to start obviously with Christina Milian, Ashanti, J-Lo. Ja, as far as pairing with women in that time period,
perfect.
He had the touch. It just worked. His gravelly voice, bouncing off of theirs. What was I listening to? Where Will I Be? That's Ja Rule and Vita. Vita slipped, and I became all the rocks and gifts that you got me, baby. And
yeah. Vita ripped that.
She did. Like, she was killing it, right? But never found a single with that type of energy or things like that. And I think at that time period, the only female in my crew, and I kicked stuff like that whole model. I get it, but I don't know that it was of service to all of those women either, because I think some of them got lost in the shuffle with mid-male rappers as well, and maybe didn't get the push or the focus that they probably needed to be better.
I always wonder what it is about an artist, or what is it about this particular song that blows up. Because, you know, a lot of these artists really had some dope music, but they just didn't blow up. What made Lil' Kim's record so much more fire than the other?
I mean, like, I see, that's the thing. Like, if I'm being, and I like I said, I like them both. I don't even know if I feel like Kim's album was way more superior than Foxy's debut. So
they were pretty even.
Pretty much. But I do think that in some instances, Kim was better positioned. And I don't know if that has to do with Diddy not being involved, but he wasn't really involved. But, you know, I just feel like sometimes the connections you make, obviously Foxy was at Def Jam. That's the home that hip hop built. But they did it right, but they didn't. I don't know. Something just never connected to take her over the edge. And I can't really figure out what that is.
I'm going to go ahead and say Biggie. I think it was the Biggie effect.
You think it was the Biggie effect?
If Foxy was in Lil' Kim's position, I think we would be talking about Foxy Brown the way we talk about Lil' Kim.
Okay.
And I say that because I always equate like Chris Brown and Omarion, right? Mm-hmm. I'm an advocate for Omarion, right?
Omarion.
I felt like, in my opinion, Omarion is a better artist. Or let me not say that. Maybe is equal as Chris Brown. But I think Chris Brown had the machine behind him, and that's one of the reasons why Chris Brown is a bigger artist than Omarion. A lot of what Chris Brown came out with, Omarion already had done.
I agree with you, but I think it's something else. When we come forward, We'll get into that. We're going to get into Todd and Kandi and their conversation. Shout out to Teal Moss for mentioning Bahamadia in the chat. She don't count for this conversation, though. All love, no disrespect. You are locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580.
Trending topics and the hottest happenings. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. Environmental justice, pollution, and climate. In Los Angeles and across America, people of color are suffering and dying from disproportionate health impacts on a planet that has less than 10 years to prevent irreversible damage. Heat illnesses, respiratory illnesses, water-related illnesses, food system impacts, insect-related diseases, black maternal health, and mental health effects. As the impacts of climate change mount, millions of vulnerable people, our people, are going to bear the brunt of these extreme environmental events, which will likely lead to forced displacement, loss of cultural identity, and other related risks. These realities are as real as rain. Stay tuned to KBLA Talk 1580 for more details about the most progressive multimedia and live events campaign any black media outlet has ever undertaken to combat the climate catastrophe. Experts, events, empowerment. It's all on the way from unapologetically progressive KBLA Talk 1580. We don't black down. We level up.
Level up, 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 level up.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
Roll Charmin, ultra strong when you drop in the beat. It cleans with way less effort on your seat. Yeah, roll it, drop it. Yeah, roll it, yeah, drop it. Okay. Charmin flows extra strong from the road. Your butt hella clean while you're sitting on the bowl. Yeah, it's all you need for that bathroom groove. Get you in and out without nothing to prove.
Charmin Ultra Strong cleans better so you can use less. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
JP Morgan Chase is building on the investments in California and around the country to help close the racial wealth gap and build a more equitable future. As part of JP Morgan Chase commitment, they are taking action to help improve financial wealth and access to banking in the Black community, helping more people open low-cost checking and savings accounts, hosting community seminars with supporting Black-led institutions by building awareness about financial investments, hiring community managers, and opening community center branches like Crenshaw, Inglewood, and downtown LA. Visit today, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Again, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Get the tools to help reach your financial goals. Visit today, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Again, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity.
Keeping you informed, entertained, and always ahead of the curve. This is RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Jumping in the Jeeps is gon' rock right. True. In the streets is gon' rock right. True. At a show is gon' rock right. Here we go with the brothers, boo. You know how we do when they pump it in the Jeeps is gon' rock right. In the streets is gon' rock right. At a show is gon' rock right. Here we go with the brothers, boo. You know how we do.
Landscaping and mentally shaping. Looking at my Gucci, it's about that time. Represent my peoples on the Illadel side. Live like my 93 phone vibe. I used imagination like Han Solo. Master like Vic with the offbeat flow. A lady like B in stereo. Raps way back at the plat was super bad disco. Used to do the freak, the Patty Duke and Gigolo. After midnights on the weekend. Oh, you remember we 3D with Study B. Enough respect go to a vet money. PSK, Miz on pause delay. You see Jewel T Rock ride the chords fade. Breeze from the bottom disco.
Okay, so I was like, this is Bahamadia, right? Okay.
Was digging in the crates.
When they pump it in the Jeeps, it's gon' rock right. True. In the streets, it's gon' rock right. True. At a show,
This song is very 90s. Very, very 90s. It feels very 93. Like, I'm not saying that in a bad way. Like, I vibe to this. But it feels very, very 93. Like, that flow, it makes me think about, like, this, you're going to a club date, maybe Water the Bush. That's a club that used to rock out in LA. Had a little neo-soul vibes a little bit. I feel like you would hear this, you would hear Souls of Mischief, you're going to hear a little maybe Brand Nubians, you're going to hear some Diggable Planets, like, you know, and it's a cipher.
Sounds like alternative hip-hop to me.
It sounds like it to me, too.
And you're 3 years off.
What year was it? 96?
96.
Sounds like 93. Didn't say it was, said sounds like. It does. It's like it also, well, what year did, they have my jam too. This Is It. What? Lucchini Falling from the Sky. Let's get Camp Low. Is that Camp Low? This Is It. Lucchini, right? I feel like that fits right into there. And that felt like a very specific sound, vibe, and movement. That is, you know, Backpackers, Incense.
97.
97? Okay. So, and that's during the Neo Soul uprising. I feel like the hip hop part of that, I mean, even though it's still around, but I feel like it really fell off as far as hip hop and the neo soul movement. No, maybe you think. Shout out to Shannon Thompson. That's a real LA native. She remembers Water the Bush. She says she missed that club. Shout out to T.O. Moss vibing to that Bahamadia.
Back to Foxy Brown.
Mm-hmm.
I think she fell off after she couldn't hear. I think that's when her momentum fell off. Because when she came out in 2000, when she came out with the Hot Spot,
right,
and like you said, oh yeah, the BK anthem that I played earlier, whatnot. I mean, she was on fire still.
Ridiculous.
And then she lost her hearing, and then you didn't hear nothing else from her after a while, and that possibly could have led to maybe people forgetting about her.
I mean, I think so. It's so interesting to me. Like, I know that some things are very niche and that we are inundated with so much now that, and obviously time, people forget about things, but just things that I consider cultural markers, you know, time periods or people. Foxy is an interesting one to me. And I do think her health problems contribute greatly, but I also kind of wonder if it's not part of, you know, I don't see people taking her as up in arms in the hip hop community as I feel like they should.
Because she shared that spotlight with Lil' Kim.
But if they shared it, then at this point, they should still want to give her flowers too.
Okay,
But she's making people take sides.
So who are the people that should give her the flowers? Is it us? Because I feel like every time we talk about hip hop and we do bring up Lil' Kim, we bring up Foxy Brown on top of that.
But I feel like it's kind of an afterthought, or it's, who was it? Like, I don't feel like she gets her own, you know, look, right? To talk about, you know, we know that Foxy had some writers, but her pen game was sick.
It was.
Right?
Yeah.
We don't talk about, again, what she kind of did as far as the fashion look. I know that Kim was the bigger piece, but Foxy Brown, I remember driving down Sunset Boulevard and seeing her on a huge billboard for Calvin Klein, and her skin looked like it was glowing. She had the jeans on spread across. Like, that was fire, you know? I mean, there were just moments and things like that, and I just, even in the fashion conversation, right? Foxy name dropped a lot of labels, you know. Who the player, I still keep you in the illest, you know, get it from Dolce & Gabbana to H. Mandel. I'm still ringing bells, right? But again, Kim gets all of that love.
Okay, I got it.
And so, you know,
Lil' Kim was more polarizing than Foxy, 100%. From, let's talk about the first video, right? We're talking about fashion, just how colorful the video was. Let's talk about, well, I don't know what year that was. I want to say maybe 97, the VMAs. With, you know what I'm saying, her breasts hanging out, and what's her name, Diana Ross,
right? That was a little later than that. That was after she released, you know, what's that, No Matter What, the Notorious K.I.M. album.
So that was 99 then,
right? That was when she came back with that type of stuff. However, to your point, right, I feel like Foxy was 15 when she started. There was a lot about her age and the lyrical content that she was speaking of. How can it be more controversial if you think about how young she was and some of the stuff she was saying, right? I don't know.
I didn't even know she was 15 at that time.
Well, when her album dropped, she wasn't 15, but there was like freestyles and stuff. You know, she was around from the time she was 15. What is the posse cut that she was on? And she was the only girl. I feel like it had Foxy Brown posse. What was it? Did it have LL on it? Gosh, why can't I think of the name of this song? I feel like it had Cannabis on it. I can't remember now. I'm gonna think of it. It's gonna come to me. And
talking about Keith Murray, Prodigy, and Fat Joe.
No, it was before that. What was the song? Oh my God. And in the video, was Method Man in it? It was like Dusty, and the mic was before. She was last in the
I Shot You, the remix.
Yeah. Okay.
LL. Keith Murray, Prodigy, Fat Joe.
Oh, okay. Okay. It wasn't. So, I mean, I don't know. I just think that she did some things and we're just kind of like, you know, and some of it, again, is time, her health. Some of it is probably our fault. We do talk about that, but, you know.
Her star power just wasn't as popping as Lil' Kim. You could say Lil' Kim had the it factor as opposed to Foxy. Foxy was a great rapper, MC, but, you know, did she have the it factor?
I feel like when she performed, she did. I don't know. It's just an interesting thing. We'll never know. But, you know, maybe she'll drop some new music and we'll see what could have been and could be. So, before we get into this Kandi story with her husband, really quickly, I want to talk about this because it kind of fits and it kind of doesn't. Now, we know Candace Owens is controversial in her own right. And, you know, every once in a while I'll agree with something Candace says because, you know, people aren't all one thing, all one way. And a broken clock can be right twice a day. All of those cliches that we always mention. But she responded, she had made some comments about a young rapper. His name is Lil RT. I think he's like 9, 10. Pretty young, right? And so she made some statements about him, and he made a video responding back to her where he told her to stay out of his business. And, you know, Candace's response, I actually kind of love it, you know, because it wasn't to the child. It was about those surrounding him and the possibilities. So, you know, again, we may not love everything about Candace Owens and the things that she says, clearly, but I think that this was right on point. And it kind of, in a way, goes back to my thing about Foxy, the entitlement. I know that you need a huge ego. I know that you need to believe in yourself. I know that you need to stand up for yourself and face in the face of all doubters, haters, non-believers, whatever. But some of the stuff that comes along with hip hop sometimes, I don't know. Listen, this kid is 9 years old. Let's check it out.
What do you want to say to her? Why? What happened?
Cause I'm being myself. They always need to stop coming on my video.
Bring it to her restaurant, right?
Mhm.
What?
You were telling me about that. Her food trash.
So you hear him say that I need to be quiet because I'm all up in his silk. He's obviously being egged on by the adults, and that's really who I want to respond to because little RT is a child, and my heart breaks for him, genuinely. I see a child that could have so much potential, and yet he is surrounded by monsters, people that know that they are not furthering his rap career. In fact, they are probably leading him down a path of harm. Obviously, if he cannot even read at the age of 9 years old, the future is not looking bright for him unless there is some sort of an extreme intervention, in which there should be. As a YouTube policy, if I misgender someone, I'm considered a danger to the YouTube community. My video will get taken down. But this 6 to 9 year old is allowed to have his video stay up. So to understand that he is basically talking about a presumably random woman who can't hang out with him unless she's willing to perform fellatio. This is a 9-year-old, okay? And he is talking about his gun, and he is talking about having 100 rounds as he runs from the police. Totally YouTube content safe.
So there's a couple of things here. One, she is absolutely right about the adults. You know, you want to let kids be themselves, but is he being himself? At 9 years old, should he feel so free to say an adult needs to be quiet, even though they are critiquing him? Should he feel like he can address her in that way? Now, I get it. Hip hop has a lot of things, right? A lot of, subject matter that's not appropriate for kids. And we know kids manage to get to it anyway. But realistically, is a 9-year-old writing raps for himself about shooting people, getting fellatio, and running from 12? You really, Andy? Like, here's the thing. They may say, do you think that they consciously, like, understand, like, to put it together in a way, you know, I understand flow, I understand subject matter, but so that, like, it all weaves together in that manner, you think we're that advanced? I really don't know.
If I remember correctly, 9 years old is what, 4th grade?
Yeah.
For sure. You know what's popping. Even at that, I remember myself in elementary school. One of my homies, he was an Eazy-E fan, knew all of the lyrics, and we were in 5th grade. So, yeah.
It's one thing to know all the lyrics and even understand them. I'm saying to write that and to know, this is what I want my image to be only.
You're young. You don't know any better.
You don't know any better.
You know what I'm saying? He's probably, his fans is, he's probably a fan of Chief Keef and them cats. You know what I mean? So.
I don't know. I mean, listen. I think that children should have creative expression. I think that, you know, you want to hear from them and their thoughts, but who's around him? And where are they taking him? Seriously, where is he headed? Is a label going to sign a 9-year-old saying, you can't come hang with me if you're not giving me fellatio, 12, and my gun? Are they going to do that? You could go independent, but I just wonder really what the pathway is for that.
His father or his uncles are probably in the rap game, so he's probably modeling their behavior.
Facts.
And give him a couple more years. He'll be like Lil Bow Wow or Crisscross or was it Mag 7? I don't know if y'all remember Mag 7. Who else?
I mean, there's a ton of them, right?
Yeah.
I mean, okay, fair. I just, you know, I hope for better because I feel like that is a straight path to, you know, Bobby Shmurda jail time, any of the rappers, you know, King Von, like any of those things. I feel like it's a direct line to that. When we come forward, we're going to get into this Kandi and Todd topic. If you're married, do you give your mate a time to be home when they step out? They're stepping out to a party or a club. Is that part of marriage and your agreement? Do you think that there is certain behavior that should be modeled as a married man? And I'm not talking about the obvious stuff. I mean, is there a code of conduct that you have to handle in the club? We're going to get into that on the other side. You are locked in to RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580.
And the tough crew rock on. And the Robbie B need the rock on. DJ Ren got a rock on. Power 99 need the rock on.
Infusing a sense of fun and entertainment in every episode. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. More when we come forward.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. There is now a $15,000 reward in Texas to help catch the gunman behind a mass shooting at a flea market. It happened over the weekend in the Houston suburb of Pearland. One child was killed. 4 others are recovering from bullet wounds. Police believe it started as a fight between 2 people. As of now, there's no description of either. Officials from the Biden administration joined Black Governor Wes Moore and other state and local leaders at Baltimore's Carver Vocational Technical High School to highlight the city's workforce hub. Back in May, the White House named Baltimore as one of 5 workforce hubs aimed at boosting the skilled workforce. The administration has announced nearly $10 billion in infrastructure projects for Maryland, including the replacement of the 150-year-old Baltimore and Potomac Tunnel. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
Need an accident attorney by your side? All you got to do is call the accident guys.
Injured in a car accident or at work? Call the accident guys. Because unlike other firms, an attorney will negotiate your case, not a paralegal.
Follow the leader. KBLA Talk 1580. Follow the leader.
If you're not following KBLA Talk 1580 on all of our socials, then you're missing out. Download our app and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on the web at KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcasts of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Follow the leader when the leader.
Oh my God.
Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
Thinking about hosting a podcast and don't know where to start? Morris Media Studios has you covered. We're a professional podcast and voiceover studio located in Leimert Park. We specialize in recording and live streaming audio and video podcasts. Let us help you set up, record, and distribute your podcast. Hosting a podcast is a great way to bring awareness to your business, product, or good cause. For more info, visit morrismediastudios.com or give us a call at 323-815-4204.
Joey from Vermont, a farmer trying to get through the winter. Adriana from South Carolina, a single mother living paycheck to paycheck. Liam from Ohio, an injured father struggling to provide for his family. Hi, I'm Shanola Hampton, and I support the Feeding America network of food banks because they help provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year. Learn more at feedingamerica.org.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
The Chase Ink Business Premier Card is made for people who make things happen, like me. I'm Sam, founder and CEO of Manifest, a product design company that makes everyday products designed smarter. I get 2.5% cash back on purchases of $5,000 or more, plus unlimited 2% cash back on all other purchases, which helps us make more smart ideas into a brilliant reality.
The Ink Business Premier Card. Learn more at chase.com/business premier. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Account subject to credit approval. Restrictions and limitations apply. Cards are issued by JP Morgan Chase Bank. Any member FDIC.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment through the arts. Tia Chucha Central Cultural is on a mission to transform community in the Northeast San Fernando Valley and beyond through ancestral knowledge, the arts, literacy, and creative engagement. The Northeast San Fernando Valley has a population of about 500,000, the size of the city of Oakland, yet it has no bookstores, art galleries, or full-fledged cultural spaces until Tia Chucha's opened its doors in 2001. Founded by renowned poet and activist Luis Rodriguez, Tia Chucha's Cultural Center provides a year-round free or low-cost arts and literacy bilingual intergenerational programming in mural painting, music, dance, writing, visual arts, healing art sessions, and healing talking circles. Activities also include Mexica, Aztec dance, indigenous cosmology, philosophy, and 2 weekly open mic nights, one in Spanish, the other in English. In addition, they host author readings, film screenings, and art exhibits. To express yourself, heal yourself, attend an event, or volunteer, please visit www.tiachucha.org. That's TIACHUCHA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. Curating the most compelling stories and delivering them straight to your ears. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Boom, shaka, laka, yo, he got the cheap, rock it round. Shoot up above the tip, you're not my knocker. But shot for
The shoes? It's gotta be the shoes. You are locked in to RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. Shout out to Andy for that Chief Rocka, Lords of the Underground. Here comes a Jill fun fact. I worked that album. I worked at Elektra, their parent label. I think it was Pendulum. It was an indie label that they were signed to. So, 93. That, Diggable Planets was also in our mix then. Not Brand Nubians, but the lead of the Brand Nubians, a guy named Graham Puba. He had a song called Real to Real. What goes over? Anyway. So that's why when I say things like 93, it reminds me of stuff because of my internship. I was an intern, a non-paid intern. It turned into some money later, but going to the hip-hop clubs, these deep hip-hop clubs in 93. So, I have my things, my bias, but I am not without the knowledge and not without the experience either. Shout out to Shannon Thompson in the chat. She said, if you're married, there's no need to leave when the DJ leaves. Quamel says, Lil Artie sounds like another Tut. Little Artie, it changed it. Sounds like another Tut Tarantino. More silly rappers with these gangster thug musings. That's not hip hop at all. It's just rap music. I mean, but do most people distinguish between rap and hip hop in theory? Really? Most people can't even really explain to you what the difference is between the two. Andy.
Is he talking about Elijah Irvin?
No, he's talking about Lil RT.
No, he's talking about Tut Tarantino.
Oh, Tut Tarantino.
Elijah Irvin.
Who's that?
Do you know who Tut Tarantino is?
I feel like I've seen the name pop up, but listen. Bypass.
Michael Irvin, his son.
Come on.
Do you remember? Do you remember him?
I do. That's why I just said, come on.
That's what Kwame was talking about.
Okay. Got you. Because wasn't Michael like, I don't know why my son is out here talking about this gangster lifestyle. He grew up rich. So.
And I think that's the dichotomy between hip hop and rap per se.
So rap is about the lifestyle more. I mean, hip hop is more about the lifestyle aspect, or which one do you think is more about the art form?
I've always viewed hip hop being the art. I remember KRS-One, he broke down what hip hop is. To be hip is to be relevant, right. And to hop is to move. So it's relevant movement. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Which obviously has substance. And rap is just, I wouldn't call it the art, but it's the skill. Per se.
The skill. It is the action.
There you go.
Okay. I feel that. Okay, so we have a lot of commentary and we haven't even gotten into this story. So listen, Todd, Kandi's husband, has a YouTube channel. And on it, they sometimes have discussions surrounding relationships and things. Sometimes they involve other friends. I think it's called the Glam something. Basically what happens is when they're getting ready to do different things with their glam squad, they talk about subject matters. Well, most recently, Kandi was having a conversation with Todd about what time he leaves the club. And for him, he's like, I'm out there doing business sometimes. I could be talking to the club owner, the distributors. It's not about being outside. It's about being outside and making moves. So let's hear what they have to say. And I can tell you right now, just from seeing Shannon in the chat, Pretty Brown Mimi in the chat, I'm not sure who else, they not for it. They say, husbands, y'all better get your butt home at a decent hour. I don't know what hour that is, but I'm assuming it's before 1 a.m. Let's listen.
Out there at this next spot, so why is there a big deal? Like, I'm okay.
Right before you pull up to a bitch house, trying to make it seem like you ain't doing nothing.
But you checking my location, so I'm at no chick's house. Unless the chick lives at the club, or lives at Magic City, or lives at a restaurant.
You said what?
The champagne room.
Oh my God.
I just feel like there's no reason why you should be at a club and be the last person in there. Like, there's no reason that the club should be getting shut down, lights turned on, and you still last one there all the time.
Now let me tell y'all, this has happened. So it's a spot called Whiskey Mistress, right? I know the promoters who actually run the place. So at times we'll all be there. It's over. We'll just be there talking. Oh yeah, pour another one. We just kicking. So it's not, and I don't do it often, but if I do it, it's just because you catching up with people. You guys have never hung out and then after
You can catch
y'all
up
just
for all them
talk.
other 6 hours you was there?
The music is on. I'm talking about like the is off, they cleaning, and you just kind of.
Oh, so now you helping people clean.
No, I'm not saying I'm cleaning. Just having a conversation. And you got your tracker. Y'all didn't even know she had the tracker. Like, y'all even know that's crazy, right?
No, it ain't crazy.
You check her location
If
too.
you got a husband who like to stay out like that, then you definitely should have a little location on his ass.
If you got a husband, period.
I don't mind you having a location, because God forbid anything happens to me. I want you to be able to find me.
Exactly.
So,
Wait, so do y'all have each other's passcodes?
passwords to what? To the phone?
Yeah.
No.
We do.
Candy might have it as much as I type it in front of her.
First of all, I don't know. Why
Okay.
you always be trying to act like I'm over here
No,
trying to
I didn't say it in a
okay.
bad way. I said you might as much as I've typed it in front of you. I give you my phone all the time. Like, don't act like I'll be like, wait, hold on. Let me clear this screen. You.
So listen, first, so what she's talking about, what he's talking about with the tracking is, you know, on your iPhone, you can share your location with someone. And at any given time, they can take a look and say, oh, you know, Boo is at Safeway or CVS. I don't know. You know, Boo is at Magic City. The wings are delicious. Whatever the case may be. So she can look up and see where he is at any given time. I mess with that. I understand, you know, especially if you have kids, but I don't. I do not want to have to track my man, nor do I want my man to feel as though he needs to track me. I want to trust if you say, hey, I'm going here. I want to feel that. I don't want to twist myself in those knots. I don't want to keep looking in and, ooh, where's he at now? Ooh, what time is he moving? I don't want to feel like that, and I don't want you to feel like that. However, I'm a woman of a certain age, and it took me a second to get to that point, you know, not even just being comfortable with someone per se, just with the idea of it overall. And, you know, I had to think about things like that. That's not how I want to live my life. And, you know, I don't want you to feel like, oh, I got to report in. Check in to let me know you cool and you safe, but I don't want you to feel like I've had friends that have been very short-leashed in their relationship, kind of on each other, and that is just a turnoff for me and not appealing as all. Now, as far as the time to leave the club, again, maybe I am Pollyanna. If y'all don't remember who Pollyanna was, she was like this super sweet girl and, you know, fictional thing, and she believed everything and saw the good in people. I also do not want to have to tell you what time you should be home from the club. Do I expect you to be respectful of me? Absolutely. Do I understand that sometimes, like I understood what he's saying, some nights you may run into a friend you haven't seen in forever, or you guys getting in a good conversation, you know, you debating whether or not Usher should have sang to Kiki, whatever the case may be, and you have those good conversations, and it's a moment. You know, I get that. However, generally speaking, not saying that this is the case with Kandi and Todd, when people feel like that is because there was some infidelity in the past and there are some trust issues that they are beating back.
Or some insecurity.
Or a great insecurity is another thing. They are worried. So either one of those things, I do not want to deal with that. I want to trust that you can conduct yourself as an adult, that you value our relationship, and you aren't going to do anything that's going to make us look crazy, and handle yourself accordingly.
And I'm sorry, the other woman, I think she was just being messy.
Just throwing in stuff in the mix.
Yeah, she probably was the single one who didn't have a man.
Now here's it. Why do single women always get the brunt of this?
Because they be the main one talking. They be the main ones blocking. You feel me? Like, fall back, homie. Fall back. Why you over here adding extras talking about, oh, do you have the passcode? Like, you really are trying to stir the pot up, huh? Fall back, do your job, do your hair, and that's it. Let Todd and Kandi talk, not you.
Listen, I'm very serious about this. I do know you can't have my passcode. I don't really want your. Do I need it in case of an emergency? Is there some place where we double stash? I don't know. I don't want to have a relationship where I have to stay on my P's and Q's like that with you. I don't think that is healthy for either one of us.
And isn't having all of that, like the passcodes and the trackers, isn't that like a form of manipulation and control?
Can be. It depends, on both sides. Either side, I don't think it's good behavior for either. Pretty Brown Mimi says, if you're married, why is your spouse living single? Come home before the sun comes up. Nothing great happens after 2 a.m. And Shannon Thompson said, insecurity in all caps.
How about you come to the club with me?
That can happen. But here's the thing. Sometimes it's guys' night or girls' night.
Fair enough.
Real rap, right?
I'm not going to question what time you coming home if you out with your homegirls.
You not?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
And like he said, I can understand if this happens constantly.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, one time out of maybe 6 months.
Well.
I'm just saying.
I'm going to bring something up.
Go ahead.
So back in 2019, after Kandi and Todd had just welcomed their new daughter Blaze, right? They were, they're on a reality show, so these things come out. Just a couple days after the baby was born, he was out in the club, coming home late. And Kandi was like, I feel like it's so selfish. Obviously, when it's time to do late night hours, you don't just jump and run out there. I sleep a lot. We have a new baby. Why are you going out to the club and not helping me? So to me, right, that's 4 years ago. To me, I don't know. Maybe, Kandi doesn't feel comfortable with him out gallivanting till all hours of the morning. Maybe it's something we don't know.
Yeah, if he's dabbled in some sort of infidelity in the past, I get it, 100%.
I don't know if he's dabbled in infidelity, but when the baby was a week old, again, he was out,
That's definitely questionable for sure. But is he like a promoter or something? Does he?
So Todd used to work in production. That's how they met. He worked in production for the show, not as an executive, like actual, day-to-day in there while they were shooting. He dibbles and dabs, he dips and dots. I don't really know. But I just think that when those type of issues come up, usually it's related to something else that has happened. And
I was just going to say, it looks like Mimi doesn't have no faith in men at all.
She said, you being messy tonight. Pretty Brown Mimi says, guys know they check up on women. Y'all do. Yeah.
That's some, but not all.
Some not. And here's the thing, like, I'm not saying I might not venture off into your Instagram stories. Oh, what type of night is it tonight? Or think, but I don't want to be on you. I don't want to feel like I have to go behind you and keep up with you that way. I just don't feel like that's healthy in a relationship because everybody's adults and two complete wholes come together to make a greater situation. I don't believe in that you complete me type of thing because I feel like that leaves too much room for you to allow someone else to disappoint you based off of not, being disappointed by their behavior or the things they do, but you expecting them to fulfill a hole within you that may not be their responsibility, even in a relationship. So, I don't know. Shannon Thompson says, Kandi don't want him out there making her look stupid. Exactly. Listen, public embarrassment is the cause of a lot of cheating situations ending. Maybe not the actual act, but the fact that people know that you did this and, the end results and you look silly. People can come together and work out their differences. Mistakes happen, all of those things. We can run down the list. But that sounds like and Kandi, for her credit, she said when this was posted on social media that it was just a conversation per se, not a pressing issue for them. But she did sound a little concerned. And Shannon Thompson also said she doesn't want him out there spending her money. So, pass Possibly. Okay, so look, real quick, there's a bunch. We're going to take a break, and when we come forward, I should say, the last story of the night, YG. I want your opinion on this. I want to know what you think YG, the rapper, should do. All of that and more on the other side. You're locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe.
RSVP with Jill Munroe is your go-to show for staying in the know. More engaging conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Beloved Entertainment presents Sweet Spot Live with me, Angelique Francis, at the beautiful Miracle Theater at 226 South Market Street in Inglewood on Sunday, November 19th at 6 p.m. Join me with KBLA for short stories told live on stage with us, by us. Yes, our own storytellers straight from the neighborhood. Colorful and provocative live storytelling event celebrating our unique culture, our strength, our courage, our faith, and yes, our fire. We invite you to walk with us through the neighborhood, even run with us down our dark alleys if you dare. Just around the corner, there is laughter, unspeakable pain, secrets never told. But don't worry. The door is unlocked and we're going to leave the porch light on. That's Sunday, November 19th at the Miracle Theater, 226 Market Street in Inglewood, 6 p.m. Yes, it is all happening right here in the Sweet Spot. Tickets available, sweetspotlive.eventbrite.com, sweetspotlive.eventbrite.com. We got a lot to talk about.
In Big Tobacco's Fantasyland, children are the future. Here, tobacco companies are committed to higher education, offering scholarships to students who submit essays about the benefits of vaping. The tobacco industry even sponsors summer camps for kids. Don't worry, the tobacco-sponsored programs have been linked to leaving your kids more interested in smoking. In Big Tobacco's Fantasyland, the world's deadliest industry is your child's friend. See reality at undo.org.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide cleans better than the leading competitive free detergent, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues.
Plus, Tide Free and Gentle has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on her skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment. LA's 99 neighborhood councils form the grassroots level of the Los Angeles city government. The system was created to connect LA's diverse communities to City Hall. While neighborhood council board members are volunteers, they are also public officials elected to office by the members of their community. Neighborhood councils advocate on issues like homelessness, housing, land use, emergency preparedness, public safety, parks, transportation, and sustainability. They also provide local expertise on the delivery of city services to their various communities. Neighborhood councils are open to participation by anyone who is a part of the fabric of daily life in said community. This includes those who live, work, or own property or a business. If you are interested in stepping up to join your local neighborhood council, visit www.empowerla.org. That's empowerla.org. It's time to think globally, but act locally. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Now back to more captivating conversation on RSVP with Jill Munroe.
You were locked in to RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. Okay, so real quick. YG was at a function, a party. I'm not sure what it was, an event, right? And there were strippers there. And he posted a photo from the event featuring one of the professional dancers, exotic dancers, you know, one of the ladies getting to it. And she was on the pole, busting it, right? You know what that means. Well, allegedly, her man took to social media because he wants YG to take the photo down. Let's listen to his plea.
I'm going to try to keep this short and whatnot. A lot of y'all already know what's going on and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? If you've been on IG lately. But this is a message for YG. and whatnot. And from a real one to a real one, man, I'm asking that you please take my baby mama, you know what I mean, off your IG with her, you know, picture of her busting it all open and whatnot. You feel me? So, you know what I mean? Baby was telling me, you know, she had to go to her sisters. Her sister is going through some things, and, you know, she got to handle some family issues. So I'm like, cool, it is what it is. You feel me? You know, I wake up, text message, DMs going crazy like, this your baby mama. You know what I'm saying? So I go over to YG Instagram. Baby mama on there busting it open, going crazy. All in the background, cheesing and smiling. Got me looking like a straight goofy, you feel me? And you know what I'm saying? And like, oh, if that's your baby mama, you need to keep her in check. You know what I'm saying? Baby, don't listen. You feel me? And you know, now I'm out here looking like a goofy, you feel me? So, like I say, man, if you're a real one, I'm asking that you please take my baby mama down.
Yo, you just got to eat that. You know what your baby mama does for a living. I mean, she got an OnlyFans. Use this to pump it up. She got, performance coming up. Maybe she'll get more tips. Eat that, dude. Eat that. The chat is lit. They're saying that after a certain age, the club should lose its appeal. It should, but they're still socializing. There's still things. I don't think Todd is in there like turning it up, throwing it up. But people do go to smoke cigars, meet up with business partners, talk to people that are into that range. I don't know. It could just be out. It doesn't necessarily have to be a club. It could be a hookah lounge. It could be any number of things. He mentioned Magic City. He might have a taste for some wings. We don't know. Look, good luck with that. Trust your mate. Do whatever you got to do to make your situation work. It's really just between the two of y'all. But as for me and mine, I ain't tracking nobody like that. If I got to be in a relationship like that, that sounds like my 20s. I'm not doing that again. So y'all can keep that. And little homie, keep your chin up and tell them people to mind their business because your baby mama getting paid. Thank you for locking in, VIPs. Thanks for checking out RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. When we come forward, the best of KBLA will be up next. Make sure you're locked back in with me tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Pacific time, for more trending topics and headlines. Have an amazing night.
This a mud.